Hi friends, Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to Inside Winner. A winner is a dreamer who never gives up. Our channel gives you powerful mental tools to master tough subjects. If you are watching the channel first time, please subscribe the channel and click the bell button so that you will get notification of new videos.
Bridge engineering. Bridge engineering is the branch of civil engineering which deals with the design, construction and maintenance of bridges. Important technical terms used in bridge engineering. First one, bridge. The drainage structure which facilitates a communication for carrying road or railway traffic across an obstruction or depression with or without water is called a bridge. Now, what is a river crossing? A depression with water such as a river, in which case the bridge is known as river crossing. Viaduct. A deep valley without perennial water, in which case the bridge is known as a viaduct. Now, grade separation. Another route of communication passing at lower level, in which case the bridge is called grade separation. Long span bridge. The bridge having total length more than 120 meters is known as long span bridge. Major bridge. The bridge having total length varying from 30 meter to 120 meter is called as major bridge. Minor bridge. The bridge having total length 6 meter or less is called a culvert. Wendway. The culvert having total length less than 1 meter is called a wendway. And what is a footbridge? The bridge exclusively used for carrying pedestrians, cycles and animals across any depression or obstruction is called footbridge. What is the length of a bridge? The overall length measured along the center line of the bridge from end to end of the bridge deck is called length of the bridge. And what is a span? The center to center distance between two adjacent supports of the bridge superstructure is called effective span or simply span. And what is a clear span? The clear distance between any two adjacent supports of the bridge superstructure is called clear span. Now, what is a total span? The center to center distance between the abutments of a bridge termed as total span. And what is an economic span? The span for which the total cost of a bridge is minimum is known as economic span. And what is a waterway? The sectional area at the site of a bridge through which water flows is termed as waterway. What is known as natural waterway? The unobstructed sectional area available at the site of bridge for flow of water is called natural waterway. Artificial waterway. The sectional area provided under the bridge superstructure through which water flows is known as artificial waterway. Linear waterway. The length available between extreme edges of water surface at the highest flood level measured at right angles to the abutment faces of a bridge is called linear waterway. And what is effective linear waterway? The total width of waterway of a bridge minus the effective width of obstructions in the form of piers is known as effective linear waterway. It is the sum of all clear spans. What is soar? The vertical cutting of the river bed is called soaring. Afflux, the heading up of water above its normal level while passing under the bridge is called afflux. And what is a freeboard? The difference between the highest flood level after allowing the afflux and the lowest point on the underside of the bridge superstructure is called freeboard. And what is a clearance? The minimum distance between boundaries at specified position of a bridge structure is called clearance. And what is a headroom? The vertical distance between the highest point of a vehicle and the lowest point of projecting member of a through bridge is called headroom. Straight bridge. The bridge having its center line at right angles to the axis of a river is known as straight or square bridge. Skew bridge. The bridge having its center line not at right angles to the axis of river is termed as skew bridge. What is a deck bridge? The bridge having its floor supported at the top of superstructure is called a deck bridge. Then semi-through bridge. The bridge having its floor supported at some intermediate level of the superstructure is called semi-through bridge. Through bridge. The bridge having its floor supported or suspended at the bottom of the superstructure is known as through bridge. Then submersible bridge. The bridge which allows the high flood water to pass over its superstructure, thereby submerging the communication route, is known as submersible bridge or low-level bridge. Then non-submersible bridge. The bridge which does not allow the high flood water to pass over the floor carrying the communication route is known as non-submersible or high-level bridge. What is a causeway? The bridge having its floor flush or little above the bed of the stream, which allows flood water to pass always over its floor carrying the communication route, is known as causeway. Underbridge. The bridge constructed to enable a road to pass under another land communication route is called underbridge. What is a low-cost bridge? The bridges constructed as well as maintained at low cost and have short span of the useful life are known as low-cost or temporary bridges. And what is permanent bridges? The bridges constructed as well as maintained at high cost and have long span of useful lives are known as high cost or permanent bridges. Now, component parts of a bridge and their functions. First one, superstructure. The upper part of a bridge consisting of structural system in the form beams, girders, arches, suspension cables, etc. carrying the communication route is called superstructure. The function of superstructure is to provide carriageway over which the traffic moves with safety. Then substructure. The lower part of a bridge consisting of structural system in the form of abutments, piers, etc. along with their foundations which support the superstructure is called substructure. The function of substructure is to support the superstructure and to provide access to the traffic to the level of bridge superstructure through approaches. Substructure of a bridge consists of the following component parts. First one, approaches, then abutments, then third one, wing walls, fourth one, piers and foundations. Now, what is approaches? The portion of a roadway or railway on both the ends affected by the design and layout of a bridge are known as approaches. The function of approaches is to enable the vehicles running on a road or railway track at normal level to approach the level of bridge floor. Now, what is an abutment? The end supports of a bridge superstructure are termed as abutments. Function of the abutments of a bridge are to support the superstructure, to retain earth banks of approaches, in which case they are called return wing walls. Now, third one, wing walls. Wing walls are the walls constructed on both sides of the abutments to retain the earth banks of the river or of the bridge approaches are called wing walls. Functions: to retain the earth banks of approaches, in which they are called as return wing walls. And second one, to protect the earth banks of river from the action of water. Piers. The intermediate supports of a bridge superstructure are known as piers. In very long arched bridges, some of the intermediate supports are made up of thicker section, which are known as abutment piers. The following are the functions of piers in a bridge: to take and transfer the load from the bridge superstructure to the subsoil lying underneath through their foundations, to divide the length of the bridge into a suitable number of spans. Last one, foundations. The lowermost part of the bridge superstructure is called foundation. Now, what is bridge alignment? The location of center line of a communication route to be carried by the bridge at the selected site is called bridge alignment. Now, what is sounding road? The road used for measuring the depth of water at different points along a stream section is known as sounding road. And what is a soaring? The process of cutting or deepening of riverbed due to action of water is called soaring. Now, let's study about different types of bridge foundations. The lowest artificially built parts of abutments, piers and other similar structures having direct contact with the subsoil and supporting the bridge superstructure are called bridge foundations. And the first one is land foundations. The bridge foundations constructed on a dry land are known as land foundation. These foundations are further classified into the following types: spread or open foundations, raft foundations, grillage foundations, inverted arch foundations and pile foundations. Second one, foundation constructed in soils charged with water or having water at shallow depths. Third one, underwater foundations. The bridge foundations constructed underwater are known as underwater foundations. These foundations are considered as deep foundations. Underwater foundations are further classified into the following two types: well foundations and caissons foundations. And what is a shallow foundation? The foundations constructed at shallow depths below the bed level of a river, mostly on the hard and firm strata, are known as shallow foundations. And what is a deep foundation? The foundations constructed at deep depth with some artificial arrangements like poles, well, caissons, etc. are known as deep foundation. All underwater foundations in addition to pole foundations are the common examples of deep foundations. Now, various types of bridge foundations and their suitability. First one, spread or open foundation. It is best suited in situations where hard soil is available within 1.5 to 3 meter below the bed level of the water course and when the shoring is minimum. Then second one, raft foundation. This type of bridge foundation is suitable when the bed of the water course consists of soft clay and silt and the hard soil is not available within reasonable depth, that is 1.5 to 2.5 meter below the river bed. Now third one, grill edge foundation. This type of bridge foundation is suitable for heavy and isolated footings of piers where deep foundations are to be avoided. It is best suited where subsoil conditions are poor. Fourth one, inverted arch foundations. Inverted arch foundations are suitable when the depth of excavation for foundation is less. It is best suited where the bearing capacity of soil is less, especially when the subsoil has become soft pockets and there is possibility of unequal settlement. Now, fifth one, pile foundations. This type of bridge foundation is suitable when the soil is very soft and the hard bed are not available at a reasonable depth below the bed level of the river. Sixth one, well foundations. This type of bridge foundation is suitable where good soil is available at about 3 to 4 meter below the bed level of the river and the bed consists of sandy soil. Now, caissons foundations. This type of bridge foundation is suitable when a hard strata bed is available near to the river bed but the depth of water is excessive and it is not economically possible to exclude water to form a dry bed for sinking the wells to provide well foundations. Now, what is skin friction? The frictional resistance of the surrounding soil on the outer surface of staining of the well or caisson is known as skin friction. What is a grip length? The depth of foundation bed below the level of maximum shore depth is known as grip or grip length. As per IRC standards, the minimum grip length required is recommended as 1/3 of the maximum shore depth for road bridges and 1/2 of the maximum shore depth for railway bridges. Coffer dams. Coffer dams are temporary structures generally constructed to prevent the water from entering of area where a permanent structure is to be constructed. What is curtain wall? The masonry walls constructed below riverbed on upstream and downstream sides of a bridge, usually provided with floor in between, are known as curtain walls. And what is a crib? A framework of horizontal and cross beams laid in alternate layers is called crib. And what is a guide piles? The vertical members embedded in river or stream bed to support sheet lies in the construction of a single or double wall coffer dam are known as guide piles. And what is a sheet pile? The piles which consist of thin sheets driven into the ground to make the enclosed area watertight is known as sheet piles. And what is a bales? The horizontal beams, usually of square timber, which are fixed to guide piles for connecting together, are known as bales or strings. Now, gangway. The platform laid in between the sheet walls of the top for the moment of labor gang engaged for the work is known as a gangway. Piles. An element of construction driven vertically or nearly so in the ground to increase the bearing capacity of the soil or to take up the load of the structure is known as pile. Classification of piles. Piles are classified according to their uses such as
bearing piles, friction piles, batter piles,
guide piles, etc. and they're classified according to their material of construction such as wooden piles, concrete piles, metal piles, etc. Let us discuss about piles classification according to use. First one, bearing piles. The piles which rest on hard strata and act as columns to bear the load of the structure is known as bearing piles. Now, friction piles. The piles which do not rest on a hard strata and bear the loads on account of their frictional resistance between their outer surface and the soil in contact are called friction piles. Now, friction cum bearing piles. The piles which rest on a hard strata and resist the loads partly by bearing and partly by their skin friction are known as friction cum bearing piles. And what is batter piles? The piles which are driven at an inclination to resist inclined loads are known as batter piles. And what is a guide pile? The piles which are embedded in river or stream bed to support sheet piles in the construction of a single or double wall coffer dams are known as guide piles. And what is a sheet pile? The piles which consist of thin steel sheets driven into the ground to enclose an area are known as sheet piles. Second one, piles classification according to material of construction. First one, timber piles. Second one, concrete piles. And these concrete piles may be further classified into the following two types: precast piles and cast in situ piles, and pile driving. Precast piles means their length of such piles varies from 2 to 30 meters. And these precast piles are casted before coming to the site, before proceeding the site. It's casted ready-madely. Then cast in situ piles. This type of concrete piles are constructed at site in a hole prepared for this purpose. Simplex pile, pedestal or bulb pile, Frangi pile, Raymond concrete pile, sand piles, steel piles, etc. are the examples for cast in situ piles. And what is pile driving? The operation of forcing a pile into the ground without previous excavations is called pile driving. The equipment required for pile driving includes pile frame, pile hammer, leads, winches, etc. Now, pile frame. A pile frame usually consists of platform for supporting drivers, engines, winches, etc. Its height varies from 10 to 35 meters. And what is a pile hammer? It is guided between two parallel steel members known as leads. Leads, these are used for guiding the hammer and the pile. And what is winches? These are required to lift the hammer and the pile. Now let us discuss about well foundation. The foundation constructed by sinking a single large well, a twin well, or a number of small wells close together under each abutment or pier is known as well foundation. And the types of well foundations are deep foundations and shallow foundations. The foundations in which well are sunk deeper than the maximum possible depth of soil are called deep well foundations. The foundations in which wells are not sunk deeper than the maximum possible depth of soil are called shallow well foundation. Now, let us discuss about the component parts of a well foundation and their functions. First one, well curb. Well curb. The structural member which supports the staining and transfers the load of the well to the soil below after completion of the well foundation is called well curb or simply curb. The function of a well curb is to provide support to the well staining and to transfer the load of the well to the soil by supporting the structure on completion of the well foundation. Second one, well staining. The masonry or concrete ring of a well foundation is known as well staining. Third one, bottom seal. The layer of concrete provided at the bottom of a well after its sinking is called bottom seal or bottom plug. The function of bottom seal or plug is to transfer the load from the well staining to the soil lying underneath. Fourth one, top seal. The layer of concrete provided at the top of the well after filling the sand is called top seal or top plug. The function of sand filling is to transfer the load from the well cap to the bottom plug economically. Fifth one, sand filling. The process of putting sand in between the bottom and top seal in the well is called sand filling. The function of sand filling is to transfer the load from the well cap to the bottom plug economically. Sixth one, well cap. The RCC slab provided over a single or number of wells to support the abutment or pier is called well cap. The function of well cap is to transfer the loads and moments from the pier to the well or wells sunk below the cap. Shifting of the well. The horizontal displacement of the well from its true position due to tilting is known as shift of the well. And what is a caisson foundation? The foundation constructed by sinking a caisson to rest on firm base under water and then filling the same with concrete or stone masonry to act as a pier is known as caisson foundation. Types of caissons. First one, box caissons. The caisson in the form of an airtight vessel without top floated to the side and sunk to rest on a firm base is called a box caisson. Second one, open caisson. The caisson which is without its top and bottom is called an open caisson. Third one, pneumatic caisson. The caisson which is open at bottom and close at top and sunk by means of utilizing compressed air is known as pneumatic caisson. And what is caisson disease? The disease by which the persons working under compressed air in the caisson suffer when they return to the atmospheric pressure is called caisson disease. These are all about bridges. Listen to all the terms carefully again and again and prepare well for the coming PSC exams. Thank you.
If you want videos of special topics, please write below in the comment box and give me your valuable suggestions. Watch all other uploaded videos to ensure top rank in all the competitive exams.